Good afternoon and thank you for coming today. In December of last year, Parliament approved the Casino Gaming Act 2014. This act makes provision for the creation of a Bermuda Casino Gaming Commission that will be made up of 5 members, including a chairman who has to be a barrister with more than 5 years' experience. Today, I would like to announce the designate gaming commissioners that I have identified. They are Mr. Alan Dunch, who will serve as the chairman, Mr. Gary Medeiros, who will serve as the deputy chairman, and Mr. Dennis Tucker, who would be a commissioner. Let me take this opportunity to give you a little background on these distinguished gentlemen. Mr. Alan Dunch, JP, is the director responsible for the litigation practice group of MJM Limited. He has over 35 years of legal practice at the Bermuda Bar and has developed specialized skills and expertise in the areas of labor and employment disputes, telecommunications and regulatory law, planning law, hospitality law, corporate and commercial litigation, and insurance litigation. Throughout the course of his career, he has appeared regularly before the courts of Bermuda at every level, as well as in the Privy Council on numerous occasions. Mr. Dunch has extensive arbitration and overseas jurisdiction experience and provided expert evidence on Bermuda law on a number of occasions. In addition to practicing before the courts, he provides business, labor, and general advice to clients both locally and overseas. He also sits on a number of boards of directors and involves himself in private client advisory and trust work. Mr. Gary Medeiros, OBE, JP, FCA, is the retired president and chief executive officer of Balco Holdings Limited, now known as Ascendant Group Limited, Balco Electric Light Company Limited, and Bermuda Gas and Utility Limited. He had worked at Balco for 22 years and the last 14 years as president and CEO. Mr. Medeiros, a chartered accountant, has served on a large number of corporate, community, and government boards and is presently the chairman of the Sustainable Development Roundtable. For his contribution to the chartered accounting profession and the community, he was awarded a fellowship from the Bermuda Institute of Chartered Accountants in 1996, and for his contribution to education and the community, he was awarded a fellowship from the Bermuda College in 2002. He was appointed a Justice of the Peace in 2002 and made an Officer of the British Empire, OBE, in June of 2011 for his 7 years as chairman of the Defense Board. He was the first and only civilian chairman. Presently, he is a director of BF&M Limited, chairman and director of BF&M Life Insurance Company Limited, and director of Utilico Emerging Markets Limited, an exempted, close-ended Bermuda investment company that invests predominantly in infrastructure, utility, and related companies in emerging markets. Mr. Dennis Tucker is currently the chief executive officer of the Hotel Pension Trust Fund. Prior to that, he served as the vice president and managing director of Sonesta International Hotels Corporation. Mr. Tucker spent 27 years with the Sonesta Hotel, and he also served as a common councillor and alderman for the Corporation of Hamilton from 2009 until 2012. He served as a director for the Bank of Bermuda from 1995 to 2012, and he is presently a director of the Bank of Bermuda Foundation. There are still 2 remaining appointments to be made, but in the interest of getting the commission up and running as soon as possible, so that we can expedite the introduction of resort casino gaming in Bermuda, I have decided to proceed now. As for the 2 remaining appointments, one will come from overseas and be a former commissioner, gaming commissioner, with money laundering experience. The commission will be entrusted with regulating the industry and ensuring compliance and best practice at all times. The commission will be the only entity that will determine who receives a casino license, and the transfer of a casino license without a fresh application to the Commission will be prohibited, and license holders are required to report any material changes in their circumstances. The Commission will also have power to approve the layout of a casino, gaming equipment, and hand out licenses for key casino employees. It is crucial that the designated commissioners start the training process so that the Commission is in a position to consider applications for casino licenses as soon as practicable. That is why I have decided not to wait before identifying the full Commission. I remain confident that resort casino gaming is right for Bermuda, and that most Bermudians supported the legislation of gaming in Bermuda. It is now imperative that we put the right regulatory structure in place to ensure that we create a responsible and highly respected gaming industry in Bermuda. Thank you. I will entertain any questions.
Any questions?
Minister, you say here that the Commission will also have the power to approve the layout of a casino. Are we to assume that these distinguished gentlemen know enough about casinos to approve the layout of a casino?
They certainly will, and they will, first of all, the regulations will speak to that. So there will be a minimum size and a maximum size, and we'll be looking at the gaming positions and what is financially viable for the size of our casinos. So, for example, if an applicant only has a small property and can only have a certain amount of gaming positions, it may not be economically viable for them to get a license. So all of that will be determined through the consultation that we have with our advisors, and as we develop the regulations, all of that will be evidenced in the regulations.
Is there a time frame for finding the remaining two commissioners?
Well, as I said, one of them will be coming from overseas. Advice was given and received that we should have someone with gaming commission experience sitting on this, because as you know, we've never done this before. And one of the reasons why I want to start now is because there are training opportunities in the very near future that I wanted to have, particularly the chairman and deputy chairman, exposed to. And so we're getting the ball rolling. But I don't know how long it's going to take to identify the overseas member, but a list is being compiled now, and so I don't expect it to be too long.
I would like to invite Chairman Dunch to perhaps say a few words as to his vision for the Gaming Commission going forward.
It's a bit difficult to speak to what my vision might be, given that this is all so new.
What do you see your role as?
My role, the role of all of us, will be to learn what gaming commissions are all about and how to import a model that fits Bermuda into Bermuda. And to then, having established the necessary regulations, go about the process of vetting applications and hopefully finding the best applicants for the job, assuming that they exist. But I think one of the things that's challenging about all of this is that it is so new. We've never done it before. None of us, I think I'm safe to say, have any real idea as to what it is we're getting into. And we're all looking forward to the educational process that has to take place in order for us to then be able to sit down and create the vision, as you put it. I'm very honored that the government has given the three of us the task of doing this. It shows that they must have some trust and confidence in us, and I hope that we'll be able to fulfill that. Pleasure.
Minister, I do have a question on another matter, and that is, what's the situation with the old Club Med? Our newsroom has learned that the developer named by Desarrollos reportedly has the exclusive agreement with the developer of Parleyville Hotel.
I think you mean to say the brand, the operator. These questions have been put to me already by your newsroom. That is not our information. Clearly, those negotiations are confidential between the developer and the chosen brand. The information that we have received is that St. Regis will be the brand for that development, and we haven't received any information to the contrary.
Can you further guarantee the country that we have this new commission or part of the members, and when you hear about casinos, into corruption. Corruption will leak into when you bring in gambling. Can you, what guarantee can you give to the public that we won't see any of that in Bermuda?
Well, first of all, corruption is currently covered by the criminal code. If you look at the act, the principal act, it sets out clearly that the handling of applications and licenses will lie within the remit of the commission. This commission will be independent from government, and I think that I'm confident in the integrity of the commissioner standing before you. So I have no concern about that happening at all. There's significant distance between the commission and the government will have no say whatsoever in who is granted licenses or any dealings with licenses at all. So I think the public can be confident that there is no opportunity really for there to be corruption as it relates to the government and this process.
And if I could just add to that, when the minister first approached me to ask me whether I was prepared to take on this position, I think the very first question that I asked him was, has the government made any commitments to anybody in relation to the grant of a license? And I asked that question because had the answer been yes, I suspect I would have declined the invitation. I've been assured that no commitments have been given and that we as a commission have been given a clean slate. So we will be looking at all applications objectively, without political influence, and we will make decisions objectively and without political influence. That I can assure you.
Minister, is there a specific venue where these gentlemen will go to get some gone? Obviously, they can't go to Vegas because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So where are they going to get this grounding that they're going to need to start making these kinds of decisions?
We have identified some jurisdictions which we think would be useful because of some analogy with what we're trying to do. For example, there are some Midwestern jurisdictions that are small, like Bermuda, and therefore their experiences may be more analogous to our experience. We're looking at Ohio in the first instance because Ohio set up their gaming industry in a very quick fashion as well, and they've done it very well. In fact, most of the individuals that I've spoken to in terms of our advisors have recommended Ohio as one of the best regulatory bodies and jurisdictions out there, as well as Maryland is highly regarded. So, I mean, gaming is everywhere, as you know, and so we have quite a few areas, but we're going to be looking at areas that are close to us and that have some importance in terms of our structure, our size, and the circumstances